There's some people from yesterday. Um, do we need to address that or no?
What's the name of the two from yesterday?
Jose Ruiz Morales
He's not here.
and Ronald Salguero.
Not here.
Okay, perfect. Those are out. And then, but we still need the Spanish interpreter anyway.
We need Spanish and the Vietnamese.
Got it. Okay. I know the Vietnamese is for the female, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. We'll knock those out. We'll not after I do the preliminary instructions.
All right.
And then, so I guess the order we'll do it in, just so y'all have a heads up, we'll do all the preliminary instructions for everyone. Then we'll do the female, we'll take the Vietnamese interpreter first, then we'll do the guys, we'll do the juveniles first, and then just, then we'll do the Spanish after the juveniles. So when we get to the guy side, we can have Alexander and Velasquez first.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect. And then everybody else. Start in just a few moments. Ms. Wesley, the two Spanish speaking people from yesterday, that it appears they bonded out, so that they are not going to be addressed today. Just FYI.
Okay, so we're not in need of a Spanish interpreter?
No, we are, but just
Okay.
not the ones from yesterday.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got everybody at the jail.
We ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September the 18th, 2023. The time is 11:02 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. I'm Judge Daniel Nabel. I'm going to go over a couple of things with you before I discuss your individual situation in your case, but just a little bit of general information about what this proceeding is and what this proceeding isn't. Okay. First and foremost, this is not an evidentiary hearing. This is a procedural hearing, and it's an informative hearing, okay? So what that means is this is not the opportunity for you to talk about the facts of your case, why you're innocent, why you didn't do what officers allege that you have done, why the witness is lying, why you have an alibi, or any defense that you may have. You save that for your lawyer down the road so they can best defend you against these charges. Okay. This is an informative hearing where I'm going to inform you of certain things. Number one, I'm going to inform you of the charges pending against you, whether they are misdemeanors or felonies. Also, I'm going to inform you of what your bond is on each charge if a bond is going to be given. Next, I'm going to inform you of your next court date. Your next court date is a preliminary hearing. If you bond out of jail, you will not have a preliminary hearing, okay? So the date that I give you, if you bond out, you will not need to go to court that particular day. You'll get notice in the mail of your arraignment court date later on down the road. But make sure that your information is good with the sheriff's department and the clerk's office or the bonding company so you don't miss that future court date. If you are still in custody but when the court date arrives, which is either going to be October the 16th for felonies or October the 17th for misdemeanors, then you will have a preliminary hearing. There you will meet with an attorney if you qualify for a public defender or a court-appointed attorney, or you will have hired your own attorney by that time. There you can either choose to have a hearing, you can negotiate your case with the solicitor's office or district attorney's office, either on the charges or your bond conditions or whatever else you can negotiate with them, okay? Next, I'm going to go over if you have any special conditions of your bond. The most common types of special conditions are no contact provision. If you have a no contact provision with a certain person, guess what that means? Don't have any contact with them. It doesn't matter if it's a spouse, a parent, a brother, a blood relative, a friend. It doesn't matter what the nature of the relationship is. If you are told not to have contact with somebody, don't have contact with them. That means direct or indirect. No Facebook, Instagram, Kik, Twitter, Skype, Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever creative way that you think that you can have contact with this person, don't do it, because if you do that, you run the risk of being in violation of your bond conditions, which can get you locked up, your bond being revoked, and also you having more charges against you. And if you violate a judge's order, guess what another judge is not likely to do? Grant you a bond, because you've already proven that you can't abide by the rules while out on bond. Another type of special conditions is to stay away from a certain location. Just like a no contact with a person, stay away from a certain location means do not go there. It doesn't matter if it's your former employer, your current employer, where you actually reside. The biggest, I guess, area of complaints is when somebody is told not to go back to their residence. I can't allow that because obviously some type of dispute happened there. If you need to get belongings from that residence, what I can do is put in the bond paperwork that you are allowed to go back to the residence, but you have to be accompanied by the sheriff's office. That's to protect you and the people at that residence, so there's no one else getting arrested or a commotion on that scene. Okay, so you know, if it's your residence, I'm sorry, but you'll have to make arrangements to either with the sheriff's department to go and get your stuff, or you can have someone else go there and get your stuff for you. Okay. Lastly, we'll go over whether you want to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. You also do have the option to represent yourself unless you are a lawyer. That is highly not recommended, because you'll be held to the same standard as a lawyer and know the rules of evidence and the procedures and things of that nature. So I do not recommend you represent yourself, no matter how small or large the charges are. Either you should want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney or hire your own attorney. Now, all of you were given the opportunity to fill out some paperwork for a court-appointed attorney. If you didn't fill it out, I can only assume that you're going to hire your own attorney, okay? Because otherwise you're wasting all of our time by me having to go over these questions with you. So hopefully you filled out that paperwork, because I can only assume that you hired your own attorney if you didn't. Lastly, I will ask if you have any questions. Your questions should be limited to: what are my charges? What is the bond amount? Do I have any special conditions? When is my next court date? Anything beyond those questions, I'm really not going to be able to help you, because my role here is very limited into the information that I am giving you today. I cannot predict the future of the likelihood of success on your case. Now, I am also handling warrants, so give me 1 second, because I am doing double duty. So give me 1 second, please. All right, I apologize for the interruption, but I'm doing two things at once today. So again, if your question is not related to the information that I'm giving you and you just need it repeated back to you, please don't ask me. Some common questions that commonly come up from people are, how do I go about bonding out? Well, I can tell you, as a practicing lawyer for over a decade in this area, a bonding company usually charges somewhere between 10 and 20% of whatever your bond is, okay? That's not by statute, it's not by law. That's just kind of the general business practices of a bonding company. So if your bond is $1,000, that's 10% is 100, 20% is 200. So for every $1,000, you just double it. If it's 2,000, it's between $200 and $400. I don't know the requirements of what kind of paperwork they're going to need, or can it be a friend or a family member or anything like that? I don't know. So don't bother asking me those questions, because I'm not going to be able to help you. The other question I get a lot is, what about OR bonds? I have already assumed that everyone has asked me for an OR bond. If you know what that is, then you probably don't qualify anyway. And if you don't know what it is, good. That means that you haven't been here before. Okay, so I have already assumed everyone wants an OR bond or a signature bond or something along those lines. So please don't ask me, because it's already been considered. Lastly, if a charge is being dismissed against you, it could be brought back. It's not my job to tell law enforcement to bring those charges back or to present new evidence against you, or whether the DA's office or the solicitor's office is going to re-allege those crimes. I have no idea. The reason why it's being dismissed is because I believe that the evidence in front of me is not sufficient. So if your charge is dismissed, I'm sure you'll be very pleased with that result today, but don't be surprised if those charges come back later on down the line. I have no idea whether they will or not, but I just need to make you aware of that. Okay, so before we start the individual, session, I need everyone to please raise their right hand. And Do you swear or affirm that the statements you shall make shall be the truth, the whole truth? You can say, I do. All right, we'll start with the female side first, because I know that we have Mr. Pham here.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. I think you're here for give me just a moment.
Miss Lee, right?
Yes, that should be it. I think we only have 3 females, so that should go fairly quickly. Okay. All right, Mr. Pham, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. All right, do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully and accurately translate from the English language to the Vietnamese language and Vietnamese language to the English language on behalf of the Clayton County Magistrate Court and Miss Lee to the best of your ability?
I do.
All right. Mr. Pham, if you could ask Miss Lee her name, please.
Tên của em là gì em?
Lê Thị Linh Tiên.
My name is Lê Thị Linh Tiên.
Okay. And Miss Lee, do you understand that you are being charged with a misdemeanor violation?
Hôm nay á, là người ta bắt em á, về một cái tội tiểu hình nha. Là cái tội nhẹ thôi. Yes, sir.
Okay. You were charged with battery. I'm sorry. You were charged with simple battery, and which is a misdemeanor, and I am going to grant a bond of $2,000.
Em bị buộc công tối về cái tội mà ấu đả nha, em đánh người ta nha, và bây giờ là tòa sẽ cho em biết là cái tiền mà em sẽ tại ngoại hầu tra trong lúc mà em chờ này đi ra phân xử.
Now, this doesn't mean that you're guilty of the crime or anything like that. This is just I'm just informing you of the charge against you.
Cái bữa tòa này nó không có phải phân xử cái kê của em đâu nha, nó chỉ có là cung cấp những cái tin tức, nói cho em, giải thích cho em biết là tại sao người ta bắt em, là cái tội em là gì, rồi cái vụ của em sẽ là xét xử sau. Ok. Yes sir.
Okay. Now you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Mr. Tan Doe.
Thì trong những cái điều kiện đó, người ta ra đó, trong lúc mà em tại ngoại hầu tra đó, là em không có được liên hệ với cái ông tên là Thang Đô.
Yeah.
Yes sir.
Okay. Do you have another place that you can live other than the Meadowview Road address?
Em có cái chỗ nào ở không, ở ngoài những cái nhà mà Meadow Road đó? Em ra em ở chỗ có chỗ nào mà em ở tạm thời không?
Dạ không ạ.
No sir.
Em có bé nhỏ 3 tháng cho nên em về nhà để em chăm cho bé.
And on top of that, I have like 3 months old baby, Your Honor. I need to be with my child.
Okay. Do you have any other family in Georgia that you could live with?
Ngoài ra em có thân nhân nào ở gần đây không? Em có thể ở được không?
Em có thể về nhà của em ở, nhưng mà anh chồng của em có thể đi chỗ nhà bạn của chồng em ở được không ạ?
I can go back home to stay with my baby and my husband can stay with his friend.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Ờ, cho em giải thích tiếp tục.
Chờ.
All right. I'm not gonna say that you can't go back home. You can go back home. That's fine.
Ok, thì bây giờ tôi đổi ý. Em có thể về nhà em ở được.
Cho em nói chuyện với tòa về cái vấn đề tội của em được không ạ?
No, can I talk to you about my case, Your Honor, sir?
No, this is not the opportunity to talk about my case, but you'll be able to talk about your case with a lawyer in the future, okay?
Cái bữa tòa hôm nay đó là không có phải phân xử, nhưng mà em sẽ có cái cơ hội nói chuyện với luật sư của em rồi qua một cái tòa khác để mà xử. Hôm nay là tôi chỉ cung cấp những cái tin tức cho em thôi nha. Yes sir.
Okay. So do not have any violent contact with your husband. That means don't yell at him, don't throw things at him, don't kick at him, don't do anything that would be considered violent, okay?
Okay. Khi mà về ở nhà đó là em không có được là la mắng chồng em không có được bạo động vì với chồng em không có được làm cái gì hết. Ok, em hiểu không? Cái đó là cái điều kiện, với điều kiện đó tôi mới cho em về ở.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any questions about being at your house and being with your husband? Do you have any questions about that?
Đó, thì những cái điều kiện đó em có thắc mắc gì không? Em có thắc mắc gì không?
Hiện tại thì em chưa thắc mắc gì, em chỉ muốn về để em chăm con em thôi.
So I don't have any question. All I want to do is go back home so I can take care of my babies.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't want you to get in any more trouble. Do you understand?
Hiểu không? Được, tôi sẽ em khi em về đó, nhưng mà em không có được gây gổ gì với chồng em, tại em mà làm như vậy nữa là tôi sẽ bắt em đó.
Yeah.
Yes sir.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if you get mad. You can't do anything to get yourself in any more trouble. Do you understand?
Nè, tôi dặn nè, về nhà mặc dù nếu mà em có giận cách mấy đó, em cũng không có được làm cái gì hết, tại vì mà em làm á là em sẽ bị bắt lại đó nha.
Dạ em chỉ chăm con thôi rồi.
Yes sir, all I wanted to do was take care of my babies.
Okay.
Là giống như trong thời gian em chăm con mà em muốn đi tắm á, thì em có thể nói chuyện với chồng em là giữ con em được không, hoặc là em đi ăn cơm.
So for instance, if I wanted to go to take a shower, can I ask my husband to watch my baby during that time, sir, or during the time I will go eating? May I ask my husband to keep my baby on that time?
Yes, you can do all of the things that you normally do. You just can't yell and scream and do anything of anything out of anger, okay?
Em làm mấy cái đó bình thường được hết, vẫn nói chuyện với chồng em vẫn làm như vậy, trừ trường hợp đó là em không có được la mắng, không có được gây gổ, mà không có được trong lúc giận dữ mà em mà không được làm cái đó thôi. Còn ngoài ra em vẫn nói chuyện với chồng em bình thường thôi chứ không có gì hết.
Cho em hỏi là em nếu có thể em có thể về quê trở về quê hương Việt Nam 1-2 tháng gì đó có được hay không?
And so and then if I wanted to go back to my country, Vietnam, for a couple months, is that okay?
That's not up to me. That's up to, if you use a bonding company, they'll talk to you about that, but I don't have any control over that.
Cái đó thì tôi không có thẩm quyền, tôi không có thể trả lời cho em được. Nếu mà em mà dùng cái bond đó, em đi một cái company đó, em nhờ tiền của người ta để mà chuộc em ra đó, thì em phải nói với những cái người đó. Nhưng mà tôi á là tôi không có thẩm quyền trả lời những cái câu hỏi đó. Ok Sam.
Okay. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th. But if you get out of jail, you do not have to go to court on October the 17th.
Cái ngày mà cái phiên tòa kế tiếp á, là ngày 17 tây tháng 10. Nhưng mà nếu mà em mà đặt cái tiền mà tại ngoài hầu ra đó thì em không cần phải đi tới cái phiên tòa đó nha.
Là cái ngày 17 tháng 10 em sẽ trở lại đây để em phải làm một lần nữa.
Does that mean I have to go back to jail on that? Không phải.
No.
Cái đó là đi ra tòa thôi, đi ra một cái tòa khác. Nhưng mà nếu mà em mà để cái bond á thì em không có cần phải ra cái tòa đó.
Ok, dạ.
Ok sir.
Okay. Now, do you want to hire your own lawyer or do you want to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Em muốn là muốn luật sư riêng hay là em muốn là tòa cho em một luật sư công?
Đây là lần đầu tiên của em và em là người không phải ở nước Mỹ lâu, cho nên là em thầm mong là tòa làm cái gì tốt nhất cho em thôi.
So this is my first time to get in trouble and I don't know the system. All I want to do is I'm asking for your help. I mean, what is the best for me?
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. You are not currently working, correct?
Như là em không có đi làm hiện tại giờ em không có đi làm phải không?
Yeah.
Yes sir.
Okay, you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. So that means that a lawyer is going to be given to you for your case, and then they will work with you on the charges against you.
Okay, vì trường hợp của em không có đi làm nhiều, thành thử tôi sẽ cho em một cái người luật sư công nha, là cái người đó sẽ liên lạc với em, sẽ giúp em để mà chống án trong cái kê của em nhé.
Nhưng mà có được là trong hôm nay được ra không ạ?
So can I go home today, Your Honor?
Well, I don't know how soon you can go home, but if you bond out of jail, then you can go home.
Tôi không biết là bao lâu, nhưng mà nếu mà em đóng cái tiền bond á thì là người ta sẽ cho em ra sớm.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Miss Lee.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Pham.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Ms. Bermudez, we just have two more females. If you could just let us roll through them, that'd be much appreciated. I got Miss Miller is next, Frederica Miller. If we can get her.
Miller.
No, Judge, for the females today, we have Hart, we have Smooth, we have Repress.
Hold on.
Hart, Smooth, and Rest Press.
Okay, Hart. Okay, Hart. Said Smooth. Okay. And Rest. Where's Miller? Oh.
That's a male.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I assume by the first name. Okay. My bad. All right. Let's do Hart. Are you Miss Hart?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss Hart, you are charged with one count of criminal damage in the second degree, which is, make sure. Okay, which is a felony. I am going to set a bond of $2,500. Okay. Now, you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Mr. Patrick Scott. Okay, so just don't have any contact with him until your case is resolved or the bond conditions are changed. Also, do not return back to the 7th. Well, do y'all, whose residence is this? This is both y'all's residence?
I own that home. He got out of jail 2-3 months ago, and I just let him stay with me. And I'm in the process of selling it, so I have to get in there. I'm still painting.
Where does he stay?
He stays at an Airbnb in Atlanta for the most part because he works in Smyrna.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna bar you from your own residence. However, if he's there, you can't be there. It doesn't matter if it's your house or not. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So, and you heard what I said about if you violate that, guess where you're going? So you're gonna have to make that determination on whether it's worth risking that or not, okay? Your next court date is gonna be on October the 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, October the 16th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Get a attorney appointed to me, so I'll figure things out.
Okay, and it says here, I'm looking at your application. You've served in the military before?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on your paperwork because I believe that Clayton County has resources for people who've been in the military before. Now, I don't know the extent and things like that, but it's something that I look for, so we'll put that on there for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions about your case? I am going to grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Hart. Please don't come back.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get well,
Smooth.
all right, we'll do that one. I'm gonna get my paperwork all out of order. All right, give me just a moment, Ms. Smoot.
I already got my appointments. I missed the first appearance himself.
See, talk to him, tell him.
Y'all check it? Y'all have checked it? Oh, check it, because he gonna try, he upstairs.
Okay. All right, Ms. Smoot, you were charged with one count of simple battery, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $2,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Isaiah Adkins. Okay. Let me see here. All right, doesn't look like you stay at the residence where this occurred, so that's fine. The next court date is going to be on October the 17th. However, if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date.
I do stay at the residence.
You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I stay at that residence.
At the 4434 Newton Estates?
Yes.
On your application, you have an address in College Park.
Address is on our ID. I thought they said put the address that was on our ID.
Oh, I see. So your ID says College Park, but you stay in Ellenwood.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Well, can you go back to the College Park address?
Yes.
Okay, then let's do that. Okay. Do you need to get any items from that address in Ellenwood?
Yes.
Okay, then I will put that on there that you can go back with the sheriff's department, like I said earlier, and get your items from that address, okay? Or you can have somebody go and get your items for you, okay? But
Okay.
just don't show up on your own and be like, the judge said I could come here and get my stuff, because that's gonna get you in trouble, okay? So just don't go back there on your own unless you go with the sheriff's department. Do you want to you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney? What would you like to do?
Be considered for the court.
Okay, all right, I will do that. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Send me the first and last.
Kiana Rest.
All right. One moment, Ms. Rusters. All right, ma'am, you were charged with 1 count of terroristic threats, which is, they have it as a misdemeanor. All right, well, I won't bind it over, but the solicitor's office could bump this up to a felony charge. The facts don't change, but they may look at this and just based on the allegations. I'm not saying that you did it or didn't do it, but they may try to send this up to the DA's office. I'm not going to do it because it came in as a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. Okay. Also, don't have any contact with Jada Everett. Now, I know that y'all probably live in close proximity to each other, but if you see her, you go the opposite direction. Okay. Don't say hi, don't wave, don't honk, don't do anything to have any contact with her, because guess what will happen if you do? You end up right back where you are. And I assume that you don't like being where you are, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right, exactly. Your next court date is on October the 17th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court, attorney.
Okay. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
You said to go the other way, well, because we stay like right there, so she going downstairs, I'm going upstairs, how they work?
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit of common sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the common sense. Like, for example, let's say that you step out of your residence and you see her. Go back in your residence until she's back in hers. When she's clear, then you go. You know, I'm not saying it's a perfect system, but you know what is and what isn't contact. I would assume that, you know, you're a grown up. You know, there are ways that people try to be slick and try to violate the order and stuff like that. Like, you open the door, you see her coming out, you open it and give her side eye looks and things like that. Guess what? You go into jail. It's very simple. So if you see her, assume that she can see you and just don't even create any problems for yourself. You know, as long as you mind your business and don't do anything, you won't have any problems. Okay. And the order's on you, not on her. So if she sees you, you know, in the parking lot and stuff, and you're getting your groceries, just pretend she does not exist. That's the best way to do it, is pretend she does not exist in this world. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
You're not going to come back because you violated this order, are you? Okay. All right. Good luck to you. Do you have any other questions? All right. Good luck to you. All right. That's all that I have on the female side. Is that correct?
That's correct. Now we have the Espanol speaking male coming up.
Yeah, we can do those. What are the names?
Give me your first name.
Michael Duran.
All right, Ms. Bermudez, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully and accurately translate from the English language to the Spanish language to the English language to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bermudez, if you can ask this gentleman his name, please.
Por favor, dígame su nombre.
Michael Duran Marquez.
Michael Duran Martes.
Okay.
Marquez.
Marquez.
Oh, okay. Give me just a moment. Let me get his paperwork.
Deme un momentito, déjeme buscar su documentación.
Okay. So it's his last name Duran or Marquez?
Duran Marquez.
I think he's listed as Duran. That's how I have him, Judge.
Oh, I have it. Okay. Michael. Okay. It's just spelled a little differently. That's fine.
O sea, que Michael solamente está deletreado de una forma diferente, pero está
That's
bien.
fine.
Es en español, Michael con K.
Yes, in Spanish. Michael with K.
I'm clear.
Estoy claro.
Mr. Marquez, I speak Spanish as well, but we have to have Miss Bermudez here because there has to be someone in between you and I to make sure that I don't tell you something that's incorrect or mislead you.
Señor Márquez, yo hablo español también, pero nosotros tenemos que tener acá a la señora Bermúdez solamente para asegurarme que yo no le diga algo que es incorrecto o que lo haga pensar alguna otra cosa.
Okay. All right, sir. You are charged with one misdemeanor count of driving on a suspended or revoked license, one misdemeanor count of tag violation, and one misdemeanor count of, looks like, no registration.
Ok, señor, a usted se le acusa de tener un delito menor por conducir con una licencia suspendida o de no tener licencia. También se le acusa de no tener sus placas y otro cargo por delito menor de no tener la registración de su vehículo.
¿Quién me acusa de eso? Porque yo no estaba haciendo nada de eso. Yo estaba durmiendo adentro de mi carro, adentro del carro.
I don't know why they're accusing me of that because I was not doing any of that. I was asleep inside my own car.
Sure, I understand. And right now is not the time for you to present evidence or talk about your case. Right now is just, I'm just giving you some information, and later on down the road, you can talk to your lawyer about how you can defend against these charges, okay?
Okay, y en estos momentos no es el momento para que usted hable con respecto a su caso. Yo estoy solamente acá para darle información con respecto a su caso y usted puede defender su caso en el futuro hablando con su abogado y dándole esa información.
I am gonna grant a bond in your case, okay?
Yo le voy a conceder fianzas en sus cargos, ¿está bien?
The bond for the no license is $1,500.
La fianza por el cargo de no licencia es de $1,500.
For no tag, I'm gonna make it $250.
Por lo de no tener las placas, lo voy a hacer de $250.
And for no registration, the bond is $250.
Y por no tener registración, la fianza es de $250.
So your total bond is $2,000.
Su fianza total es de $2,000.
Your next court date is October the 17th.
Su próxima corte es el día 17 de octubre.
But if you bond out of jail, you don't have to go to that court date.
Pero si usted paga su fianza y sale, usted no tiene que asistir a esa corte.
You do have the right to hire your own lawyer or be considered for a court-appointed attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho de contratarse su propio abogado o de ser considerado para que le nombre un abogado de oficio.
What would you like to do?
¿Qué le gustaría hacer?
Defenderme yo mismo.
To defend myself.
Are you sure you don't want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney? I know that these are minor charges, but you would benefit from speaking to a lawyer.
Seguro que usted no quiere el beneficio de tener un abogado de oficio. Yo sé que estos son cargos menores, pero usted se podría beneficiar de hablar con un abogado.
Okay, igual.
Okay.
So you want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, correct?
O sea, que usted quiere ser considerado para que le nombre un abogado de oficio, ¿es correcto?
Correcto.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. I will
Ok,
grant
está bien.
that request.
Yo le voy a conceder la petición.
All right, do you have any questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
¿Se podría anotar la fecha de corte, el día que tengo la fecha de corte y eso?
Can you write down for me the day that I have my court day?
Well, it's October the 17th.
Es el día 17 de octubre.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
¿Me tengo que quedar aquí o me puedo ir?
Do I have to stay here or can I go?
I mean, you can go as long as you make your bond and you don't have anything else that would hold you here.
Usted se puede marchar siempre y cuando usted pague su fianza y que usted no tenga nada más que lo retenga acá o lo detenga acá.
Okay. Gracias.
Okay, thank
no
you.
problem.
Okay, no hay problemas.
Next. Alphabetical order.
Yeah.
All right. What is your name, sir?
¿Cuál es su nombre, señor?
Hola, mi nombre es Alexis Roman García.
Hello, my name is Yalexi Roman Garcia.
Okay. Okay, Roman Garcia, got it. Give me just a moment to get your paperwork, sir.
Señor, deme un momentito para buscar su documentación.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
All right, sir. You were charged with one count of misdemeanor simple assault.
I'm sorry, Judge, the interpreter didn't get that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were charged with one count of misdemeanor simple assault.
A usted se le acusa de un cargo por delito menor de agresión simple.
I am going to set a bond at $5,000.
Y yo le voy a fijar su fianza a $5,000.
You're also charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass.
También se le acusa de un cargo por delito menor de invasión o daños a la propiedad.
I am going to set a bond of $2,500.
Y le voy a fijar esa fianza a $2,500.
And you are also charged with one count of reckless conduct.
Y también se le acusa de un cargo de comportamiento imprudente.
I am going to set a bond of $5,000.
Y le voy a fijar esa fianza a $5,000.
So your total bond is the total bond is $12,500.
La cantidad total de su fianza es de $12,500.
You do have a special condition of your bond
Usted tiene una condición especial como parte de su fianza
to not have any contact
de que no tenga ningún tipo de contacto
with Yaniel Sanchez Quirindongo,
con Daniel Sánchez Cirindongo.
is Quirindongo, Q-U-I.
Quirindongo.
Yes, correct. First name is Yaniel, Y-A-N-I-E-L.
Yes, sir. Y el primer nombre es de Yaniel, okay?
And then the second person to not have any contact with is Alvarez Rosavella.
Did you say Álvaro o Álvarez, Judge?
Alvarez.
Y la segunda persona con la que no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto es con Álvarez Rosavella.
Okay. Also, do not return back to 8334 Marlborough Drive.
Y no puede regresar al 8334 Marlborough Drive.
If you need to get any belongings from there, you can either have someone get your belongings for you, or you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office and they will go with you to get your belongings.
Si usted necesita retirar algunos artículos de este lugar, usted tiene que o dejar que alguien se lo traiga a usted o hacer una cita con la comisaría y ellos le acompañarían a retirarlo.
Ok, sí entiendo.
Your next court date is on October the 17th, but if you make your bond, you do not need to appear for that court date.
Su próxima corte va a ser el día 17 de octubre, pero si usted paga su fianza, usted no tiene que comparecer para esa audiencia.
You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho de contratarse su propio abogado o de que le consideren para nombrarle un abogado de oficio.
What would you like to do?
¿Qué le gustaría hacer?
Pues no puedo conseguir mi propio abogado.
Can I get my own attorney?
If you want to, you can.
Si eso es lo que usted quiere, sí lo puede hacer.
No, quiero el otro opción.
I want the other option.
For a court-appointed attorney, correct?
¿De que le nombre un abogado de oficio?
Sí, por favor.
¿Correcto? Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. If you change your mind later on down the road and you want to hire your own lawyer, you can do that. That's fine.
Si usted cambia de idea en lo adelante y usted quiere contratarse su propio abogado, usted también puede hacer eso.
But I am going to grant your request for a court-appointed attorney.
Pero yo le voy a conceder su petición de nombrarle un abogado de oficio.
Gracias.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you. ¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
En estos momentos no.
No, right now.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, good luck to you, sir.
Ok, muy bien. Buena suerte, señor. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anyone else need of Spanish services?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Miss Nunez, you're good to go.
Thank you, sir. It was good seeing you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get Alexander.
Alexander. Excuse me, Your Honor. Excuse me. Alexander is going to be a juvenile, and Vasquez, the last one, also is going to be a juvenile.
Correct. Yeah, I've got those two ready to go.
Okay.
Now, the juvenile.
Andrew.
Now here, juvenile. He's been juvenile.
Andrews and Baker.
Yeah, Andrew's up here, we'll do the last. Yeah.
All right, sir. What's your name?
Tahane Baker.
What? That's not. Okay. Hold on a second.
Your Honor, you want Alexander?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
The
I
juvenile?
wanted to get the juveniles out of the way.
They coming now.
That one way or two? Okay. Oh, 139. No, come on, this computer. But I can sign on the computer.
It's not popping up on the computer?
No.
Okay, so for your CCOA, which menu, which password are you trying to reset? Is normally using it through different options?
Like the,
One or
yeah, it's the one on 41. That's what I want to reset.
what's it in?
It's 19777.
Alexander here. Tyler. Yep. Okay, sir. All right, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Okay, there we go. All right. Are you Mr. Alexander?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sir, you are charged with one count of armed robbery. I don't think I have the power to grant a bond on that case, regardless. So it's been reviewed and denied. So, but I don't think I could even grant a bond on that particular charge. So the armed robbery charge is not going to have a bond. The aggravated assault charge, the bond is $75,000. Possession of a firearm during commission of a crime, the bond is $25,000, and weapon possession of a weapon underage is 10,000. So you do have bonds on the other charges, just not the armed robbery charge. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th for preliminary hearing. Now, because of your age, I know at a certain point, there are certain procedural things that need to be done. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there'll have to be a transfer over from juvenile court to the district attorney's office if that's going to happen. But I just don't recall procedurally when and how that's done, okay? Nonetheless, your next court date is going to be on October the 16th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I don't know. I gotta speak to my guardian.
I'm sorry?
I gotta speak to my guardian.
I got it. Well, I don't want you to move on from today without something in place. So I would like to appoint an attorney for you. Now, if that changes down the road, that's fine. You can always hire an attorney and replace someone that's going to be appointed to you, but I don't want you to leave today without a lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to grant a court-appointed attorney for you. And like I said, if you want to change your mind tomorrow, today, 3 weeks from now, 6 months from now, you can do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
What's the max time I'm looking at?
Well, that's not really a question for now, but I can tell you that armed robbery is a day-for-day crime. It's a 10-year minimum. It's 10, 20, or life. Those are your three options: 10, 20, or life. Now, I don't know if you're even going to be convicted of these charges. That's not what we're doing here right now. There's a long time in between that. But what I can tell you, sir, is that it's one of the most serious crimes out there. It carries a life sentence potentially. And I've prosecuted people for that, where they're in jail for the rest of their, prison for the rest of their life. So it's very serious. So, you know, if you do get an opportunity to get out, I suggest that you make the most of it. And I suggest that you don't find yourself in any more trouble while you are still in custody. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Alexander. Good luck to you. All right, let me get the other juvenile.
All right, Your Honor.
All right, are you Mr. Velasquez?
Sir.
All right, sir, you are charged with 1 count of armed robbery. As I told the other gentleman, I don't think I could set a bond on that case, even if I wanted to. So there's not going to be a bond set on that particular charge. You're also charged with aggravated assault. That bond is $75,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, that bond is $25,000. And possession of a weapon while underage, the bond is $10,000. So you do have bonds on 3 of your 4 charges, but not on the armed robbery charge. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th for a preliminary hearing. Now, because of the nature of the charge and your age, logistically, there's a lot of things that have to be done. I know at some point there needs to be a transfer, or there could be a transfer from juvenile court to superior court. I just don't recall logistically when and how that takes place. Nonetheless, I am putting you down for a preliminary hearing on October the 16th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to my parents first.
Okay, that's a fair response. However, I don't want you to leave today without some type of representation. So what I would like to do is grant you a court-appointed attorney. If you want to change that tonight, tomorrow, 3 weeks from now, 6 months from now, you can change it, okay? It doesn't mean just because you get an attorney now, you have to stick with them, okay? But I don't want you leaving without some type of representation, because it may take you a while to get somebody before the 16th. So if it's all right with you, I'm going to grant you a court-appointed attorney. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
Other than aggravated assault.
I can't, you got to speak up a little bit for me.
Aggravated assault,
Uh-huh.
didn't they say there was cameras?
Well, this isn't evidentiary hearing, so I don't know I don't know the full evidence, the extent of the investigation against you is. I'm only looking at a very small little bit to see if legally there's enough for these charges to proceed. And based on my review, there is. But that's something that you can speak to an attorney about for sure. Okay. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Velasquez, good luck to you.
All right, that's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, we should be on Wayne Andrews if we're in order. We got Wayne Andrews.
Yes, Your Honor, we're gonna do them last. Mr. Andrews, we got Mr. Brown, right?
Oh, it's Andrews. Oh, all right, who's coming up? Mr. Brown?
Step back. I know you're not telling me.
Let's see, you're Mr. Baker, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Baker, you were charged with one count of disorderly conduct. Which is a misdemeanor. I'm going to set a bond at $1,500. Do not have any contact with Officer Floyd and do not go back to the airport unless you have a plane ticket to fly somewhere. So unless you're flying out of Georgia, do not go back to the airport. Do you understand? Yeah. Okay, very good. If you make your bond, you do not need to appear for your next court date, which is October the 17th. That's your preliminary hearing. But if you're still in custody, that'll be your next court date, okay? You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Yeah, attorney.
Okay. All right, Mr. Baker, I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions?
You said go back to court October 17th?
October the 17th. But if you bond out, you don't have to go, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Eric Daniels.
Okay, Mr. Daniels. Just a moment, sir. All right, Mr. Daniels, you were charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property and no driver's license. The no driver's license is a misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000. The theft by receiving property, I'm dismissing that charge against you. Okay. The reason why I'm dismissing it is I don't know whose property you allegedly stole. Maybe it's your own. Maybe it's your mom's or dad's or cousins or nephews or friend, and they said that you could drive it, but somebody reported it stolen. I just don't know who. No victim, no charge. Now, you remember what I said earlier? That charge could come back. Okay. So it feels good right now, but it could come back. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that it won't. That's none of my business. But I don't have enough to keep you on that particular charge, so I'm entering in an order dismissing it. Okay. So with that being said, the felony's gone. Your next court date is on October the 17th, which is a misdemeanor court date. Okay. I would strongly suggest to you, Mr. Daniels, that you get with a lawyer immediately and discuss resolving your case. Yeah, that's what I would do, sir. You have the right to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, or you have the right to hire your own. What would you like to do?
I had ended up signing a waiver to hire my own because I didn't know what my mom wanted me to do. And
okay.
I know that could change, so I just went ahead and got one just in case. And I ain't know what she wanted me to do.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, do you know if that person has already been hired or not?
No, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I haven't talked to my mom, but I would like one. I would like one.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna appoint you a lawyer, but if your mom or somebody hires you one, they can always replace the one that I'm gonna appoint for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right, I will do that for you, sir. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay, all right, Mr. Daniels, good luck to you. Don't come back.
You want to?
Oh, wow, okay.
I know it's great.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Jack Dillon.
All right. Oh, Mr. Dillon, give me just a second. Okay. I have to go over with you because your case is a little bit different. So give me just a moment to pull that up. All right, Mr. Dillon, just listen carefully to what I'm about to read to you, okay? Or what I'm about to say to you. A fugitive warrant has been issued for your arrest. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in, looks like Tennessee. And that state is requesting that you return to answer for the charges of a failure to appear. In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you are brought before me for an explanation of this proceeding. You have the right to contest the legality of this warrant and all extradition proceedings, or you may waive your right to extradition proceedings and voluntarily be returned to the state requesting your detention. Before you inform me of whether or not you wish to waive extradition, let me explain to you the following rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you desire to contest the legality of this extradition proceedings, then you must file or have filed on your behalf a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ. You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest the following things: whether extradition documents are in order on their face, whether you are charged with a crime in the demanding state, whether you are the person named in request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in deciding whether to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. If you waive extradition, here's the important part. If you waive extradition, the state of Tennessee will have 30 days to come and get you. If Tennessee has not picked you up in 30 days, you will be released. That's if you waive it. They've got 30 days. If you contest extradition and the state of Tennessee is unable to extradite you within those 30 days, you may be committed to the county for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. So if you contest, potentially it could get up to 90 days. The question for you is, do you wish to waive extradition and be returned to Tennessee, or do you wish to have formal extradition proceedings?
I choose to waive extradition.
Okay. And are you making this decision freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's some paperwork that they have that will require your signature. I think there's either 5 or 6 copies. If you'll sign that, they'll scan it in and email it back to me, and then I'll sign it and then email it back to them, and then that'll get that clock started. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to put you down as having a preliminary hearing on October the 16th. It's within that 30-day window. And I'm going to grant you a court-appointed attorney just in case something isn't done and they can get that done for you, okay? Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, very good, Mr. Dillon. Then we'll get that done for you, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Joseph Edgerton.
Okay. All right, Mr. Edgerton, you were charged with 1 count of sexual battery against a minor, 1 count of child molestation, and 1 count of enticing a child for indecent purposes. I have considered a bond, and I'm not going to grant a bond on any of those charges. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th for preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Hire attorney.
Okay. Do you know who that's going to be yet or no?
Steve Fry.
Okay. Does Mr. Fry know already, or you're just going to figure that out?
I'm gonna figure that out.
Okay. All right. No problem, sir. All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right.
What's your name, sir?
Larry.
Okay. All right, sir. You are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. I forgot. Give me just a moment. Oh, okay. 1 misdemeanor count of criminal trespass, the bond is $1,000. 1 misdemeanor count of battery, family violence, the bond is $3,000. So your total bond is $4,000. Okay. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Nijia Nichols. So just don't have any contact with that person, okay? Also, do not return back to the 429 Hanover Place address. Do you need to get anything from there or no?
Yeah, that's my residence.
Okay. Well, I've got you at Fairwood Circle on your application.
Yeah, that's my parents' address.
Okay. Well, you're going to need to make arrangements to potentially maybe stay there for a little while because I can't let you back at the 429 Hanover Place. However, if you need to get your belongings, you can either A, have someone get them for you, or B, I'm putting in your paperwork that you can go there with the sheriff's office and get your stuff, okay? I don't want any issues for you, and I don't want any issues for Miss Nichols, okay? Your next, hold on 1 second. I'll give you an opportunity to ask a question, I promise. Your next court date is on October the 17th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? I'm sorry, run that by me one more time.
Court appointed.
Okay, got it. All right, I will grant that request. Now, I know you had a question. What's your question?
If she doesn't live there, does that would that like can we like allow me to stay where I pay rent? She went back to her mom's house.
Here's the reality, right? I have no idea if what you're telling me is true. I don't think that you would be bold enough to lie to a judge. That would be pretty not smart, right? But I know that she was staying there when this went down, and I don't have any way to verify. So, you know, look, the main thing is the no contact with her, okay? Now, I'm putting in here to not go back there, but if she's not there and you're doing whatever you're doing, I can't control it. But it carries a lot of risk if you're breaking my order, right? So what you should do is get with the attorney and have them file what's called a motion to modify bond conditions, and then they can ask a state court judge or another magistrate court judge, hey, judge, we've done the research, you know, this person doesn't live here anymore, can he go back? And then they can consider it, right? But I don't have the power to do that right now. So that's, you know, it's not helpful to you, or it's not the best thing in the world for you, and I understand that, but you got to understand my side as well, okay? I don't have all the information. I have very limited information. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Roderick Lewis Harding Jr.
Tell him to talk loud. Say it loud. Say it loud.
Roderick Lewis Harding Jr.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harding Jr. I heard you a little bit, but I know it may be difficult. All right, sir, you are charged with theft by taking. The bond is $2,000. Okay. You do have a special condition to, and this looks like a misdemeanor charge. You do have a special condition to not go back to the airport unless you're lawfully traveling. Let me add that in there. So if you don't have a ticket to fly out, don't go back, okay? Your next court date is going to be on October the 17th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Court-appointed? Okay. It was on mute, but I just read your lips, so. All right. Do you have any questions about your case? Oh, it's on mute. Hold on one second. They got to take you off mute real quick. There you go. Okay. Do you have any questions?
October the what?
October the 17th. But if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Olin Mitchell.
Hold on a second. Oh, okay. I got you, Mr. Mitchell. Hold on. Let me put my paperwork in order.
Take your time.
Well, I want to be respectful of yours and everyone else's. We had gone out of order a little bit. All right.
Yes.
All right, let me see here.
I'll show you.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, you were charged with, Mr. Mitchell, you were charged with violation of a family violence order and one count of misdemeanor obstruction. On the misdemeanor obstruction charge, I'm going to grant a bond of $1,000. However, on the violation of the family violence order, I'm not going to grant a bond at this time. And the reason for that is it's like what I said earlier. If a judge puts special conditions of a bond or something like that, and then somebody violates it, somebody in my position, I'm looking at it like, well, he had bond and was told not to go near this person, and then he did it. Why would I let him out again? Because hold on just a second. You may have some defenses in your case. You may have some legal defenses, okay? And if you do have those legal defenses, that's fine. Unfortunately, I don't know if you've been through this process before, but unfortunately, this isn't a place to present your legal defenses.
But I've never had bond before on this.
But what I'm saying is,
and I was at my home. She doesn't live there.
I understand that, but listen to me. Listen, it says a temporary protective order signed by a Clayton County Magistrate Court judge and served by the Clayton County Sheriff's Department on September the 15th to the offender was in clear violation of the order. Now, it doesn't mean that you did. Now, listen to me. Listen. We're gonna have a good interaction between you and I, okay? Yes. It's not saying that you, on this particular occasion, it's not saying that you were violent. It's not saying that you were being rude. It's not saying anything. All the allegation is that you were served with some documents to not go near her.
She came to me.
I understand that, but the restriction's not on her. So I don't know if you heard me tell some other people, when there's a no contact, if they come up to you, you go the other way. You can't be around them. It doesn't matter if they come up to you. You have to walk away. And that's what I know. It's difficult. I know it's not fair. I hear you. I get it. But listen, you got to listen to me.
I lose everything if I don't get out.
Listen, Mr. Mitchell.
I apologize.
I know it's very emotional and it's not fair sometimes.
To my employment.
Listen, I don't want to say it again, okay? I'm being real easy with you because I know it's tough, okay? I could be a lot more strict, but I'm trying to help you out. The restriction's not on her, it's on you, okay? There's nothing legally, I have to go by the law. It doesn't mean that I always agree with it. But you speaking to me right now, guess where it's going to get you? Nowhere. It's not going to help you at all, because even though I am a judge, I have very limited power. There's enough evidence here for the case to move on. Later on down the road, you're going to have a lawyer. You're going to discuss your defenses with that lawyer, and they may be able to negotiate something with the prosecuting office. But guess what? I'm not your lawyer, and I'm not the prosecuting office. So you understand what I'm saying? I'm very limited. Trust me, I've come across these every single week. Okay. It doesn't get any easier, and it doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it wrong. I just got to give you the news as it is. I'm just the messenger, and I have to follow the law. I have a job to do. Now, the next court date is going to be on October the 16th. Okay. In between then and now, if you, depending on what you want to do about your lawyer situation, you can have an attorney file an emergency motion or whatever other motion that they deem appropriate. Okay. And go from there. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
I'll accept the court appointed right now because my private attorney is out of town on vacation. And
Okay.
may I please ask a question?
Give me 1 second. I will, of course, allow you to ask a question. They have this as a misdemeanor. I'm not certain that it is, but I'm going to bound it over as a misdemeanor because that's how it came to me. I'm not sure that's correct, but that's what we'll roll with. Well, it's not bound over, but continue it as such. All right. What is your question? Now, remember what I told you. Don't talk to me about the facts because I can't help you on that. Okay. But what's your question?
Question is, if she asked me to get a notarized letter to see the child, she dropped off at my employment and called last night saying that I just wasn't supposed to have her. And they came and arrested me. But she had me get a notarized letter so I could have her. I was supposed to return her Monday at 6:30. I didn't do anything wrong. The police came and got me and the baby out of the bed and put me in handcuffs. And she does not even live there. She's been 3 months removed from our residence.
Yep. That sounds like to me, sir, that you need to have a discussion with your lawyer because you may have a defense to those charges. That's what it sounds like to me.
But I won't be able to defend it if I won't be able to get home to get all my stuff. I had to pay my rent today on the 15th, and I'm going to be evicted now, and I don't even know where my stuff is going to go. Like,
but here's the thing, Mr. Mitchell, and I have to wrap this up with you, sir. Here's the thing. I have very limited power and authority. I have very limited power of authority. So I'm not dismissing it because there's enough there. I wouldn't be doing my job. I would be literally breaking the law in order to do you a favor, which I'm not going to do because then I wouldn't be fair to the thousands of people that I've seen before you. So I'm not saying that it's a great situation, and I can certainly appreciate where you're coming from, but I have to do what I literally have to do. Okay? You good?
No.
Have a good one. All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Michael Darnell Price.
All right, Mr. Price. Your name does not sound familiar. Give me a second. Oh, okay, it does. I just don't remember. All out of order. Okay, here we go. I am familiar with the case, just didn't ring a bell. All right, sir, you were charged with 1 count of misdemeanor driving under the influence less safe, and 1 count of misdemeanor driving on the suspended or revoked license. On the suspended license, the bond is $1,000. Let me take a look at the, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Let me take a look at this DUI one more time real quick. All right, Mr. Price, I am going to do you a small favor and lower the bond from $5,000 to $4,000. Okay, on the DUI. Now, I know that's not a huge thing, but it's something.
Yes.
All right, sir, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Appointed one, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will do that for you, Mr. Price. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good luck to you.
With my name?
Edward
Henderson.
Give me just a moment, sir. Okay, Mr. Henderson, you were charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That is a felony charge. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th. However, if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Okay, I got it. Mr. Henderson, have you ever served in the military before?
No, sir.
Okay. And are you currently employed?
Yes.
Okay. Approximately how much money do you make?
Every day?
Just say a month.
A month?
Uh-huh.
$1,900. Disability.
Oh, I see. I got you. Okay. All right. Well, I will grant your request for a court-appointed attorney, Mr. Henderson. Do you have any questions?
I want to burn out.
Okay, well, bond out. That's fine. You can do that.
I need to go see the bun now. I can't go to call the bun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't control that. You got to talk to the sheriff's office, but you've got a bond. I gave you one, so you can bond out.
Just I can call and go down to
That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
I'm going to the place.
All right, Mr. Miller, just let them know who you are.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Patrick Miller.
Come on, you're gonna hear.
Oh, okay. How the ending of your first name? What's the ending? The last three letters of your first name?
CK.
Okay. All right, sir. Oh, here we go. You are charged with one count of misdemeanor obstruction or felony obstruction. I'm dismissing the case against you. Now, I don't remember if you heard what I said earlier. These charges may come back if there's more information or evidence against you, but the evidence that I have is not, I don't believe it's legally sufficient for the charges to keep going forward. Okay. I'm not going to tell anybody to present more evidence, and I'm not going to tell them not to. They don't ask my, opinion about that. But based on what I have, there's nothing in here to say that you had to comply with the police officers. I don't know why they were there. I don't know if you were involved. I don't know if you're a witness, a bystander, a victim, a suspect, or any of that stuff. I don't know. They just said you didn't do what they said. Well, there's got to be a reason. Okay. So as long as you don't get yourself in any more trouble, you'll be good to go. And if there's nothing holding you, then you'll be getting out once the paperwork is processed. All right. Do you have any questions? I'm sorry. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, Mr. Miller, well, just be careful on how you interact with people in the future, and hopefully you don't find yourself back here again, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Tell me your name, first, last name, first name.
Hutchins Drive.
All right, Mr. Hutchins, just give me just a second. Oh. Mr. Hutchins, you are charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime. As you're already an inmate, I'm not going to grant a bond on that charge. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
Trying to see how I got charged.
Well, basically, in Georgia, you don't have to do the whatever the illegal act is. If you're, the best way to explain it is kind of like guilt by association. If you're around the people that are doing it, it's a little more nuanced than that. There's a little more to it. But the allegation is that some people that you were with or associated with or whatever were doing some things that they shouldn't have been doing, and you were a part of it. So I'm not saying that you're guilty. I'm not saying it's a good case, bad case, strong case, weak case, or whatever the case may be, but there's enough evidence for the case to move forward. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
That's it.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Appreciate it.
I have one question I did do.
All right. What's your name?
Miller.
You said Marlon Miller, correct? All right. I just want to make sure I have the right Miller. All right, sir. You are charged with 1 count of fugitive from justice. Miss Wesley, I am stuck on what to do here.
Okay.
To be honest, because what I have in front of me is alleging to be a Secret Service warrant. But I have never dealt with that before, and I don't know who is on for first appearance tomorrow. Is one of the full-time judges on for tomorrow?
Okay.
Can we look at that real quick?
And see who's on first appearance tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, stand by.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, I don't know if you heard, there was another gentleman, he was wanted out of Tennessee. I've done those before, but I haven't done an alleged federal one before. So I don't know logistically if the procedure is the same or the procedure is different. And I obviously don't want to make a mistake that would harm you, or make a mistake that would jeopardize what allegedly the Secret Service has going on. So I may not be able to handle your first appearance today, but we might have someone who's got some familiarity with this tomorrow. So just give us just a moment, sir.
It's gonna be Judge Scott, Judge.
Okay. I know that Judge Scott has been a magistrate previously. I just don't know what to do with Mr. Miller here, because I've never come across that. I don't know if logistically it is the same or different, because we have very limited information. And so as much as I do not like moving things from one plate to another, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to research this. And so I'd like to move Mr. Miller on for tomorrow. And then, I can follow up with an email to Judge Scott and kind of give her a heads up, because like I said, I don't want to make an error that would be unfair to Mr. Miller. And I also don't want to make an error that would be unfair to law enforcement.
Okay, that's fine. I'll place him on the calendar for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if an official, continuance order needs to be done, but if it does, if you'll draw it up and just add my name to it, that's fine. But I'll remember to send an email to Judge Scott and maybe copy Judge Cates Johnson on it as well.
Will do.
Okay, thank you very much. So Mr. Miller, in an abundance of caution, I know that it's not awesome for you, but we need to move you to tomorrow to make sure that we are logistically doing everything correct, okay? Okay, all right, sir, thank you.
You come back over tomorrow. All right. Well, they end up being 2. We got the first one, but they're gonna do it tomorrow, so we don't need it.
And then I have
Miller, Marlon Miller. It's gonna be into tomorrow. It won't into tomorrow.
And then I have Mr. Andrews.
Andrew.
You done. You better go.
I didn't see Andrews. Are you Mr. Okay, Mr. Andrews. Mr. Andrews, sir, you're charged with 1 count of arson, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime. All are felonies. Being as that you're already incarcerated in the Clayton County Jail, I'm not going to grant a bond on those charges. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Can you repeat the last statement?
Yeah, you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. Which would you like to do?
I understand. I need a court-appointed attorney.
Okay. All right, Mr. Andrews, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Andrews. All right. What's your name, sir? Oh, hold on. It's on me.
Joseph Sweatman.
Okay, Mr. Sweatman, give me just a moment because I have mixed in your paperwork with someone else's. So let me try and find it real quick. But I know that boom, there we go. I got it. All right, sir. Oh, well, I'm just going to repeat what I told the last gentleman. You're charged with 1 count of arson in the first degree, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime. All of them are felonies. Since you're already incarcerated at the Clayton County Jail, I'm not going to set a bond on any of those charges. Your next court date is going to be on October the 16th for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed attorney, sir.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
So, is there any possible way that I can merge these cases into my other case and run it all concurrent? I mean, run it all together?
Sure. The answer to that question is maybe. That's something that your lawyer can talk to the district attorney's office about. I have seen that happen in the past. Now, obviously there's no guarantees or anything, but that's something that they can talk to him about.
Sir, because I go to court Thursday, and I don't have no charges, but I'm just supposed to go home Thursday.
I got you. I understand. Speak to your attorney when you get to court and let them know that that's something that you're interested in doing.
Okay, thank you so much, man.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you. Take care. Good luck.
All right. That concludes court. That's all we have for today. Is there anybody else?
Yes, sir. That's all I have. And I'll just need the extradition paperwork for the one gentleman. And then I think that's all I need from you all.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
All right. Thank you, too. All right. Very good. Ms. Wesley, I will scan in everything and everybody will get their copy shortly. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
And then I've got like, whoo. Well, hold on. Hold on. Let me stop the YouTube thing real quick. Hold on. Ooh, well, how do I do this? Oh.